Welcome to the deep dive. So I want you to just think for a second about the most important piece of paper you've ever signed.
Oh, yeah, like a mortgage maybe, or, an employment contract.
Right, or a marriage license, or even just picture a courtroom, right? Where you watch a witness raise their right hand and swear an oath.
We put so much weight on that.
We really do. As a society, we treat those spoken and written words as if they have actual physical weight. I mean, we stake literally everything on them.
Which is wild when you really start to examine it.
Exactly. And today we have a stack of these really fascinating, honestly, highly controversial philosophical notes. They're all centered on one profound text, which is called Words Don't Mean Nothing, Only Energy Does.
Yeah, and it is quite the title.
It is. So my mission today, along with my co-host here, is to take you on a journey into this radical, almost unsettling idea. Like, what if every single word you say or hear is just a costume?
Just a shell.
Right. What if, beneath that costume, the only thing carrying actual meaning is this hidden vibrational field? We're going to explore how we've been systematically trained to be, well, deceived by language.
And how you can actually return to reading the true underlying energy of communication.
Exactly. Because it really is a profound challenge to how we fundamentally understand reality, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this isn't just a casual critique of how we use grammar or whatever.
Right.
It's a precise philosophical position.
Right.
It argues that meaning is absolutely not located in this symbol. It is not in the ink on the paper, and it's definitely not in the acoustic sounds hitting your eardrum.
So where is it?
The meaning is entirely located in the energetic field that either, animates that word or abandons it.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because the text uses a really visceral metaphor right at the beginning to explain this mechanism.
The shell metaphor, yeah.
Yeah, it says the word is just a shell, and the energy is the living creature inside it.
Which is such a great image.
It really is, because if the creature dies or leaves, you can hold that beautiful, intricate shell up to your ear, but you are going to hear absolutely nothing.
Exactly. And the text points out that this concept that language is merely a secondary phenomenon. It's a map, but absolutely never the territory.
Right. The map is not the territory.
Right. And that is not a modern invention at all. Across virtually every mystical and indigenous tradition, this was just the baseline understanding of how human communication actually works.
They never mistook the map for the territory.
Never. I mean, look at the Vedic tradition, for example.
Oh yeah, notes go deep into that.
They do. They conceptualize speech through Vak, the goddess of speech, and don't just view speaking as this mechanical act of opening your mouth.
It's way more complex than that.
Right. They break it down into 4 distinct sequential levels of manifestation.
I really want to dig into those levels because I always just thought of speaking as an instant translation of my brain into sound.
Most people do.
Right. But the text explains how a thought actually travels from pure energy into physical space, like a step-down transformer.
Yes.
So walk us through how that actually happens.
It's a brilliant psychological map, honestly.
Yes.
So the deepest level, the one closest to the source, is called para.
Okay.
Yeah. This is pure, undifferentiated vibration. It's pure consciousness before a thought even has a shape.
Wow. Okay.
Then, as that energy begins to move toward expression, it steps down into pashanti.
And what does that look like?
The text described this as a luminous vision sound. You can kind of think of it as that flash of total knowing you get right before you try to explain an idea to someone.
Oh, right. Like when you instantly know the solution to a problem, but it takes you, 10 minutes to actually explain it to your team.
Precisely. You have a whole concept, but no words yet. That's pashanti.
That makes so much sense.
Then the energy condenses further into malyama. This translates to an interior murmur.
An interior murmur, like talking to yourself.
Kind of. It's the pre-articulate thought. It's that physical feeling in your chest or throat where you can almost feel the shape and rhythm of the sentence, but you haven't actually made a sound yet.
Oh, wow. I know exactly what that feels like.
Right. And finally, the energy crystallizes into Vaikari.
And that's the spoken part.
That is the dense spoken word.
Yes.
Yeah. The acoustic wave that we actually hear with our physical ears.
So by the time a communication reaches the spoken word, it has already traveled through all these layers and layers of energetic reality.
Exactly. The word is really just the final outermost crust of the event.
It's so fascinating. And the text draws on multiple frameworks to prove this isn't just an isolated belief, right?
Oh, definitely.
It brings up the Kabbalistic tradition where letters and words are explicitly understood as vessels.
Yes, the vessel concept is huge there.
And the mechanism here is key. The letter itself has absolutely zero inherent power. Its power relies 100% on the divine light flowing through it.
Right. Without the light, it's nothing.
Exactly. If that light is withdrawn, the word doesn't just lose its meaning. It fundamentally ceases to function as a tool of creation. It just becomes a hollow container.
Just an empty shell again.
Right. And we see the exact same functional understanding in African diasporic traditions, which center on the concept of us.
Yes, us. Us is the animating power.
The breath, basically.
Yeah, it's the life force, the breath, that determines whether a spoken word actually lands with any force in the physical world, or if it just, dissolves into the ambient air.
So if you don't have it.
If you speak a word without S, without pushing your actual life force into those syllables, it's not a real word. It's a placeholder.
Wow.
This is exactly why indigenous oral traditions view speech as a ceremony. Because language is a literal mechanical act of calling energy into physical form.
So the problem today isn't that we speak.
No, not at all. The problem is that we forgot how the mechanics of speaking actually work. We started treating the acoustic sound as the things themselves.
It's like treating the words as the ultimate truth is like mistaking a beautifully tailored suit for the actual person who is supposed to be wearing it.
That is a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it completely reframes how we think about interpersonal conflict.
Oh, totally.
Think about how much time we spend agonizing over text messages,
Right.
dissecting the exact phrasing someone used.
I am so guilty of that.
We all are. We call it a communication breakdown and think, oh, I just didn't use the right words. But at its root, it is almost never a language problem.
It's an energy event.
Yes, it is an energy event that we misread as a language event.
Think of language like the carrier wave of a radio station. The words are just the frequency dial, let's say 98.7 FM, but the energy is the actual music playing on that station.
Right.
If the DJ is broadcasting aggressive heavy metal, it doesn't matter if the station is officially named the Relaxing Jazz Hour. Your ears are still going to ring.
That is exactly how the mechanism operates. We are staring at the radio dial, completely ignoring the music that's blasting out of the speakers.
Which means, if these ancient frameworks are right, then my brain, which, by the way, loves to analyze vocabulary and syntax, is the absolute worst tool for judging the truth of a conversation.
It really is.
Which brings us to the reality of our lived ordinary experience, because the text makes it very clear you do not need to be a mystic studying ancient Sanskrit or Kabbalah to understand this.
No, not at all.
You just need to pay attention to your own biological responses.
Absolutely. The text describes the human nervous system as a precision instrument for detecting energetic truth.
A precision instrument.
Yeah. Your body is continuously processing massive amounts of data that your conscious mind hasn't even begun to parse.
I mean, think about an interaction you've had recently that left you feeling deeply unsettled, even if you couldn't explain why.
We've all had those.
The examples in the text hit so close to home. Have you ever had someone look you in the eye and say, I love you, and instead of feeling warm and connected, your stomach just dropped?
Oh, yeah. That dissonance.
Right. Structurally, the sentence was perfect. The syntax was flawless. But your body registered an immediate glaring dissonance.
Because the words explicitly promise safety, but the energy broadcasted danger.
Exactly. And what did your body do? It believed the energy.
Always. Or consider the classic corporate HR apology.
Oh, those are the worst.
Someone sits across from you and delivers a perfectly phrased, meticulously workshopped apology.
They hit all the right notes.
Right, they acknowledge the harm, they use I statements, they outline steps for future improvement.
Very professional.
Very. And yet, you walk away from that table feeling somehow dirtier and worse than before they apologized.
Because it's empty.
Exactly. Your mind is trying to tell you, well, they said the right things, I should forgive them, but your nervous system is screaming that you were just manipulated.
Your body knows the vessel was completely empty of Eos.
Exactly.
But wait, let me push back on this for a second.
Sure.
Because my brain immediately goes to the opposite scenario. The text talks about someone who is completely fumbling their words.
Oh, right, the fumbling example.
Yeah. We've all been there. The syntax is a mess. They're stuttering. They're using the wrong terminology. They just can't find the right phrase. But somehow, you sit there and feel utterly held.
Deeply understood.
Yes, and cared for. Wait, if the words are clumsy and the syntax is a mess, how is that good communication? If the literal communication is technically a complete failure, how does the body register that as a safe interaction?
Because the imperfect words are just a clunky vehicle carrying a pure transmission.
A pure transmission of what?
In that moment of fumbling, what are they actually transmitting? They're transmitting the energy of care.
Oh, I see.
They're transmitting deep attentiveness and the vulnerability of being willing to struggle in real time to try and reach you. The body always reads the underlying informational field.
And it's not just magic, right?
No, it's important to clarify that what we casually refer to as energy in these situations isn't some mystical glowing aura.
Right.
It is constant, measurable, micro-informational content operating just beneath the symbolic layer of language.
Like body language.
Yeah, micro-expressions, breath rate, pupil dilation, there are microscopic delays in response time. Animals and infants process this flawlessly.
That is such a crucial point. An infant doesn't care about your vocabulary.
Not at all.
If you hold a baby and aggressively yell a lullaby, the baby is going to cry.
Because they are responding to your energetic field before you even open your mouth.
They aren't waiting for your nouns and verbs to decide if you are safe.
Exactly. But this leads to a really vital question.
Which is?
If our bodies are such perfect lie detectors, if we have this built-in, highly evolved precision instrument, why are we constantly getting scammed by language?
Right. If we have the radar, why do we keep crashing the plane?
What's fascinating here is that the text pinpoints language itself as the exact mechanism of that deception.
The language is the trap.
Yes. If energy is the carrier of truth, then syntax becomes the primary tool for concealment.
Wow.
Language is unique among human tools because it allows us to completely bifurcate our reality. It allows us to create a cognitive split.
Meaning we can say one thing while feeling another.
Exactly. We can say one thing while our body is actively being another. As the text notes, an animal cannot lie with its nervous system.
Your dog can't fake it.
Right. A dog cannot genuinely wag its tail in joy while its nervous system is simultaneously preparing to launch an attack.
But humans can.
But a human can construct a beautiful, syntactically perfect sentence that points in the exact opposite direction of what their central nervous system is broadcasting.
Here's where it gets really interesting and honestly a little bit terrifying.
Oh, definitely.
The text moves from this abstract philosophy into the very real ethics of manipulation and gaslighting. It points out that manipulators instinctively understand this biological loophole.
They exploit it.
They do.
Yeah.
They know that people can be held hostage to their vocabulary. Have you ever been in an argument where the other person smugly says, "Tell me exactly what I said that was wrong. I said the right thing, so you can't be mad at me"?
Yes, the text calls this the transcript trap.
The transcript trap.
They weaponize the factual written record of the conversation against your biological intuition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They hide behind the literal transcript. They know full well that their tone, their posture, their underlying energy was hostile or condescending or dismissive.
But it's not on paper.
Right. And there you are, the listener, standing there with your whole being screaming that something is deeply, deeply off, but you feel like you're going crazy because you can't point to a specific noun or verb that was out of line.
It's maddening.
The manipulation works specifically because we have been culturally trained to privilege words over our own perception.
That is the core tragedy the text is trying to expose. We are actively, systematically taught to doubt our felt sense.
From when we're kids.
Yeah, from a very young age in school and in society, we are trained to trust the spoken record over our bodily experience.
Like, use your words.
Exactly. We are taught that the official document, or what someone explicitly states, is more real than what we physically experience in their presence.
So we just shut off our radar.
We are essentially trained away from our most accurate survival instrument, our field reading capacity, and forced to rely on a symbolic system that is infinitely gameable by anyone with a good vocabulary.
So what does this all mean?
Well,
If language is this highly gameable system that actively facilitates inauthenticity and gaslighting, how do we fix it? How do we stop being held hostage by empty shells and fake radio stations?
the text shifts here to the solution, which is reclaiming our integrity.
But it redefines that word in a way that completely blew my mind.
Right. It strips away the moralistic, rule-following baggage we usually attach to the word integrity.
Like being a good citizen.
Yeah. We usually think of integrity as being a good person or doing the right thing when no one is looking. But the text goes back to the ancient root of the word, which is integer.
Integer, like in math.
Exactly. It literally means whole,
Undivided.
undivided. Having integrity simply means that your interior state and your exterior expression are moving in the exact same direction. There is no bifurcation. Your inside and your outside are the exact same thing.
And that completely shatters our standard definition of honesty.
It really does.
Because under this framework, factual accuracy is not the same thing as energetic truth.
Not all.
A person can state a completely accurate, undeniable fact, but do it dishonestly with manipulative or cruel energy.
Yes.
And conversely, someone can be completely factually wrong or stumble over their grammar, but be transmitting a profound, undivided, energetic truth.
The text gives a brilliant, honestly heartbreaking example to illustrate this mechanism.
The child and the adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picture a young child who is terrified. They are physically shaking, crying, and they just blurt out, "I'm scared."
Raw emotion.
Now contrast that with a highly polished adult sitting in a therapist's office, giving a calm, eloquent, beautifully articulated explanation of their anxiety disorder.
Very detached.
The text argues that the shaking child is communicating far more real information than the adult.
Why?
Because the child is in their energy. They are fully embodying the truth of that moment. Their interior and exterior are an integer.
While the adult is using the words as a shield.
Exactly. The adult has actually exited their energy in order to conceptualize it.
Wow.
They are using their advanced vocabulary to distance themselves from the raw truth of the feeling, even while factually describing it to the therapist. The words are accurate, but the energy is detached.
So how do we actually apply this energetic literacy to our daily lives? You're listening to this right now, maybe commuting to work or sitting at your desk. How do you stop falling into the transcript trap?
The application requires a quiet but absolute revolution in how you move through the world.
A revolution.
First, it means recognizing that your physical discomfort in a situation is not a malfunction.
Trust your gut.
Yes.
Yeah.
When someone is saying all the right things, but your stomach is in knots, you have to realize that discomfort is accurate, measurable data. It is energetic data.
You can't ignore it.
You have to actively unlearn the habit of overriding your own perception, just because someone else's language sounds logical.
And it changes how we project ourselves, too. If you are stepping into a leadership role or trying to deepen an intimate relationship, you realize you can't just script your way to success.
Absolutely not. In leadership, the core question isn't whether you gave the perfect, flawless speech. It's whether the room fundamentally trusts your energetic field.
Right.
In a relationship, the question isn't whether your partner recites, "I love you" a certain number of times a day. It's whether you actually feel loved and secure in their physical presence.
You cannot fake your field.
You really can't. The people closest to you, your team, your family, they are already reading it, even if they don't have the philosophical vocabulary to explain what they're feeling.
So what are words then? Just useless.
No, words,
Yeah.
when they're genuinely aligned with your true energy, act as powerful amplifiers. They can focus and direct a field like a magnifying glass focusing sunlight, but they cannot create a field that isn't already there.
That is such a powerful distinction to remember. Words are amplifiers, not creators. This entire deep dive has been such a massive paradigm shift. We started by looking at ancient traditions, from the Vedic step-down levels of speech to Kabbalistic vessels to the animating breath of Ace, all pointing to the exact same mechanism.
That words are just the outermost layer of reality.
Right. We explored how our own nervous systems are precision lie detectors, constantly sensing the dissonance when the radio station's name doesn't match the music being played.
The transcript trap.
Yes, how manipulators use syntax to hide their true intentions, trapping us in the literal transcript of a conversation to make us doubt our own sanity.
And ultimately, we arrived at a totally new operational definition of integrity. True alignment.
The integer.
The daily practice of ensuring your interior reality matches your outward expression and trusting your biological energetic data over the performative, gameable symbols of language.
I want to leave you with one final thought. A radical reflection that wasn't explicitly covered in our notes today, but is the undeniable endpoint of everything we've just discussed. We have spent this entire time talking about human communication, the flesh, the breath, the nervous system.
Right.
But look at the world we are walking into right now. We are suddenly being flooded with millions of perfectly syntactical, beautifully structured words generated by AI and ChatGPT.
Oh, wow.
If true meaning requires a living body to provide the energy, and an AI has no nervous system, no breath, and no body, what exactly are we absorbing when we read those words?
That's haunting.
Next time you find yourself moved or persuaded by an automated response or an AI-generated article, ask yourself, is there a creature inside this shell, or are we literally programming ourselves to fall in love with empty code?
This raises an important question for you to take into your day. Think back to a specific time when you were gaslit by language itself. When the words promised one thing, but your body knew the energy was entirely different.
We've all been there.
What would happen to your life, to your confidence, and to your most important relationships if you finally committed to reading the energy first and the words second?
Think about that courtroom oath, or that employment contract, or those declarations of love. The next time someone hands you a perfectly crafted sentence, don't just admire the shell. Listen closely to see if there is actually a creature inside.